Hello and welcome back to the Tuesday Checklist on a Wednesday, the show where we stay up late telling video game stories around the campfire. Except instead of staying up late, we do it during office hours, and instead of a campfire, it's a camera, but you get the idea. This week, we decided to have a bit of fun imagining what we'd all be like if we were video game bosses. What would our attacks be? How difficult would we be to defeat? And most importantly, what would our weak spot be? Let us know your own in the comments, but first up, it's yours truly. Okay, so if I was a video game boss,
The pauses!
what kind of boss would I be? I would be one of those bosses, I think, that would have either like a transformation halfway through when he's lost half his health and he gets really, really angry, and it'd be like angry mode. You know, like Father Gascoigne turns into a big beast. Or is it Bane from Batman, who just gets really angry and he like charges? And
Yes.
that would be sort of how the protagonist would defeat me. Would be they'd have to induce the rage, and that would, you know.
I'm going to have to completely rethink my entry.
Why?
Because mine was almost exactly the
I think
same.
everyone's going to be saying this. And then I was just trying to think of all the little things that just annoy me. So like people who are surprised by the time. You know, like
Sorry, what?
is it 4 o'clock already? Yes. So the protagonist would have to say, you know,
Just mentally thinking about all the times I might have said that in the office.
I can't believe it. It's lunchtime. Where's the day gone? Well, it's gone. It's
I
gone.
think I say that every day
It's
opposite
gone
you.
the same. It's gone the same way that it always does. It's taken the same amount of time that it always does.
Wow.
Wow. You know, things like that, and I would get all furious and do the charge attack, and I'd, you know, get stuck on the wall, and that is when I'd be taken down. Also, I think if I had like another weak spot, it would be, you know, with the blood-starved beast in Bloodborne, how you can throw, what is it, like blood pellets or
Yeah, to attract
to
him.
lure it,
Oh, yes.
and it you know, it likes the blood. Whereas for me, that would be, I guess, like fast food or burgers or something. Just you'd have your burgers equipped. Got to get the burgers, and you just throw the burgers.
They'd be in like Deliveroo bags.
Yes. And I wouldn't be able to resist that. I would have to. Ooh. And,
That'd be more like your bonus stage, you know, like in Golden Axe when those gnomes come in and you kick them and they
Yeah.
drop like a potion. For you, it would be a Deliveroo rider and you kick him and a burger would jump out of his Deliveroo bag.
Yeah, maybe. I was trying to think of what else. I also like the little music box that you can use to make Father Gascoigne sad.
The sad box.
And it would be, you know, maybe the protagonist could activate like a Lord of the Rings quote or something, and that would just stop me in my tracks because I would have to finish the Lord of the Rings quote. And, it would leave me open. That would leave me open for like a big attack then, and I'd be
After all,
defeated. Why not?
It's already working.
Why shouldn't I keep it?
That's you holding the burger in the middle of the arena. Why shouldn't I eat
Why
it?
shouldn't I eat it?
I reckon my weakness if I was a boss is that, first of all, I think I'd be a very theatric boss. Like, you know, the really cheesy bosses where they get all in character, maybe like put on a bit of a show, and then like, you know, the stereotypical like boss lines and like the over-exaggeratedness.
The all bark and no bite bosses.
Yeah, I reckon I'd be one of those bosses, but I will still take it serious. If I'm a boss, I will still be very serious about it. But I reckon my weakness would be that I would make noises before my attack. Basically, I'm very predictable. So every time I'm doing a special attack or I'm about to do something, I would unintentionally make a noise, and then everyone's like, "Oh, here she goes. She's gonna punch the wall now," and I'm like, "Ah!" Like,
Vibri, I see Vibri.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you know, I was thinking about like what bosses were similar to this. And I remember in Ape Escape 3, whenever one of the monkeys who you fight like does their big special move, like one of them goes like bombs away, and then one's like roast chicken deluxe or something, and that's when you know they're gonna do the big attack. I mean, the whole reason why people sometimes in streaming says like, oh, you've got the juice, and why I've got my own YouTube little show called Professor Juice is because I tried to make Juice Who's Got the Juice a thing by saying it over and over and over again at school. So I'm like, the fact that I've already had a habit of saying things again and again and again until it's like in people's minds that it's a thing, you want to listen out for this phrase because it's really cool and all the kids are going to say it, just makes me think that I'm going to be a boss that I'm just going to be having a great time, you know, have some banging music playing. Oh, and also, if the hero who comes in, if they start singing the song or like a tune, like let's say, you know, they come in trying to sneak in and they go like, dun dun dun, like from Metal Gear Solid, I would stop what I'm doing and I'd be like, dun dun dun, and I would then take over the song so they could just go, and then I'm dead.
What would your big attack be? And would it be, you know, a juice attack?
I mean, if we're basing it on juice, I like to think that, you know, I'll have like projectiles coming out my hands, which is just like orange liquid splats, like, you know, like
Just spurting orange.
yeah, just spurting orange. If I want to do with a big long wiggly attack, then it'll be like and like then you could have like, you know, a big wave attack with juice. It goes like, I'm looking down because I'm picturing it. I'm picturing the hero there. I'm here in my big stage, and I'm like.
All the noises are here already,
Yeah.
like you're making them all
Yeah,
for each
like
other.
It'd be really easy for the game designers to make Rosie as a boss because they wouldn't have to do any of the sound effects or anything. Rosie would deliver the whole package.
Yeah, I think that just will be my weakness. I'm very predictable, just making all the noises, because I make noises involuntary all the time, and yeah, you'll just know what I'm doing, and I'd be a very easy boss, I think. Even if I'm being serious, I reckon I'd be all like, just like, you know, just if I try and get serious,
What?
I will make noises. So I will take it seriously.
It's the serious phase of the Rosie boss fight now, everyone. And we've gone from to
Yes, but that would be me as a boss. I like to think I'm at least fun to fight anyway.
So me as a boss, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about me as a person, obviously, and I was thinking about bosses that like I have played games with that I could kind of relate it to. But I think I would absolutely be an all-talk boss that you just hit once and they're dead. Like fully like someone who like has like an anime villain monologue is like, I am the best, you've come to fight me, Ash Millman, and like would have like this full like, it would be all like aesthetic, you know, I'd be there like all being spooky flying around and it'd fully be like just one bop whilst in the middle of talking and I'd be down. Like kind of like Zote the Mighty from Hollow Knight, where like he's just this pathetic little man who's like, you need to rescue me from all the bugs, and when you fight him in the Colosseum of Fools, it's just like, oh well, that was simple. And then the best part is his own like vision of himself that you play as like the dream version of Zote, where he's like Grey Prince Zote and he's like this majestic wonderful man who's like super powerful but just flails around the whole map with his sword like, "Ugh." That would fully be me as a boss. I would definitely be very dramatic, be very like, you know, all bark, all no bite, all appearance, nothing of substance underneath. Just be like, wow, this is a cool boss room, and then like, oh yeah, dead, isn't it? And then if I had to have a phase, like if it wasn't one shot, I would have a disgusting Moreau phase, like from Resi Village. I'll just turn into a horrible fish and be like, "Ugh," throw up, and then die. No.
I've not played Resi Village, but that sounds very
I
interesting.
just immediately thought of the line where he just goes like, I'm the best! And I just thought like, Ash, if you're gonna do that, please you have to say that you're the best.
Fully just die. Ooh, like that would absolutely be it. I'd like to think I'd be like, you know, Mother Miranda or Lady Domitresque walking around my mansion with my big claws being like, ah yes, the fancy, the aesthetic. But no, it would be Moreau. Like it'd fully be like, I'd be like, get out the horrible gunk and yeah, set me up as a boss. That would be it.
You're very disparaging about yourself, Ash.
Yeah, that would just, it would be true. I talk a big game and I've got nothing to back it up. That's the...
You might be more like Sans from Undertale.
The skeleton man.
Yeah. Who
He's spooky.
secretly
He is
is
spooky.
like
I'm like,
the
hardest.
most powerful one of all.
No.
Yeah, I picture that as well. I picture you like having a sword and then like, you know, you're putting yourself down, then you're just full on like,
No, I feel like...
Maybe this is all part of your plan as a boss
Yeah.
to make us underestimate you.
Yeah, like Sans.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like no one was expecting Sans to be that powerful, and then you just broke the game, broke the whole game, and you can't beat him.
Well, I'd like that, but in truth, it's like the professor from Borderlands 2, where he falls down the steps and breaks his neck. And he's like, it's time to fight, baby. Let me remove my guns. It's Sans, skeleton woman's here, and then just fall over and die. Like, that's it. I just don't think I'd have a good big boss fight. I think it would be a funny one, and I think it would be gross as well, like the Moreau flavour. As much as Sans would be good.
So I've had a good think about what kind of boss I would be, what my weakness would be. I wasn't joking, what Rob said was part of my original thinking, but there are some key differences, so I'll lay those out now. So one of the first things I thought, and this relates to our work, was that as a boss, what kind of boss would I be? I'd be the kind of sort of annoying, persistent boss that follows you through a game. And if you play like a Tomb Raider or an Uncharted, there's that thing where you're solving all the puzzles, but the boss is always somehow either just behind you or somehow in front of you anyway, because they're taking credit basically for all of your work.
So you're openly saying you're taking credit from other people
that's
all the
the kind
time.
of boss I would be. I feel like Dave's not here today, but I'm just saying that in honor of Dave. Often Dave and I can't remember whose idea things were, and I'm going to be totally fair and say, who knows? The angel of objective truth holds the key to all of those conversations. We don't know about them. And in terms of getting angry, yeah, I was thinking really specifically of Guerrero from Uncharted Golden Abyss. You basically beat him by just making him really angry, and then you dive out of the way and he like runs onto a bridge and collapses. So I think that kind of whole second stage thing and anger was going to be key to my answer, but then I thought, I'm not really sure that I have the depth as a person to have more than one stage, so I'm very much just a one stage boss. But the key to beating me, my weakness, it is about talking. I am one of those bosses who would just talk about stuff, but the key to beating me would just be childish reverse psychology. Just tell me to do a thing and I won't do it. That's like that's the mechanics of my boss battle. Tell me not to do a thing and I'll be interested in it. So like, don't come over here and attack me while I'm standing next to this bomb I can trigger by moving away, and I'll be like, I'm just going to come over there and smash you to pieces. And that would be the way to defeat me. I feel like this has been like therapy. I've been thinking quite hard about this, and if I was gonna, I think the experience of playing me as a boss would be quite annoying, because you probably figure out quite early on, there's not much depth, but I'm sort of stubborn and it would be annoying. It'd be like, again, another Uncharted boss, a bit like Lazarevich from Uncharted 2. You're just sort of going around in circles, do you know what I mean? And like I'm furious, you know how to beat me, and it just takes a bit of time anyway. I'm stubborn, but also predictable.
I like the idea of you being like a recurring boss, like Ultros in Final Fantasy VI. You won't know who that is. Just a big purple octopus that keeps on just appearing just all the time.
I don't know how this translates to real life, Rob.
Well, you said earlier, you'd be that boss that sort of pops up throughout the game, and by the end it's sort of just kind of funny, like, oh, he's here again.
Yeah.
When you said you'd be a one-stage boss, I thought you'd be like a 10-stage one, because you just keep coming back, like persistence, but like, no, I'm not down, I'm coming back.
I'm just there the whole time, just taking credit for your work, and then when you get to fight me, then it's, then it's only one stage.
Yeah.
Oh, this person's got no depth whatsoever. That's what I'm saying. I want to stop now. This is making me feel terrible.
Can we do it as well that when they defeat you, like all credit goes back to them? Like, when you get the banker or something in Hollow Knight, and then you defeat them, and then you get all your money back.
Wow, that's even worse. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure. You can kick me around the screen while credit flies out of me, coming back to everybody else on the team.
Yes. I can't believe we've had no final bosses. Who would be the final boss?
That's when Dave would be the final boss.
Dave's not
Yes,
here.
Dave's
Dave
the
is the
final
boss.
boss.
That's his whole
Yeah, Dave's
gimmick.
the boss.
Dave's the boss.
And you got Big Dave as well from the stream. It would be like Big Dave being the boss.
Big Dave.
That would
the
be
boss.
like second phase Dave. Would be big Dave.
Yeah.
grow like exponentially, like
when
the
the bosses
celestial emissary.
take the, fill up the whole screen.
Exactly. Yeah.
He'd fight
Just
Dave,
his face, like.
and then
yeah.
he'd go right, and he'd press the little button. He'd be like, "No, I'm Big Dave." And just be Dave's face.
And then I'd defeat Big Dave with a well-placed Omni-slash. Let us know in the comments what type of video game boss you would be. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and click the bell if you haven't already, and join us again next Wednesday for another Tuesday checklist. We'll see you right soon.
PlayStation